Rich Eisen gives us a really interesting take on the Deshaun Watson situation. This is from the Rich Eisen Show.
And what's the NDA about? And if the Texans did provide him with a space in a local club that he was using for these massages to take place in, did they pay for his room? I mean, this opens up a whole different avenue of conversations as part of the process that's being respected. Albert Breer coming up in a moment. This has many more questions about it now than we had yesterday and the day before, which is why I'm continuing to talk about this in the manner in which I'm talking about it. I mean, you read it and you're like, makes no sense at all. And then the last part about it, again, based on this story that included some details from the 24th lawsuit that came just the other day, and the comment comes back from Watson's attorneys that they can't comment on at the moment because their investigative team needs to look into this person whose name was unfamiliar to them until she filed.
And again, it's important to note, Rich Eisen, that's from the Rich Eisen Show on Peacock. Rich Eisen, for lack of a better term, is the face of the NFL Network. That's owned by the NFL. Just take it in that context. And with that, let's welcome in Quincy Carrier. Quincy, this story is not going away, and the more we hear, the more issues there are for the Browns.
Yeah, this is becoming a whole can of worms, more so than what I think people, and look, there were already 22 cases when they traded for Deshaun Watson. So this was already a can of worms that they inherited. So this is not catching them by surprise by any means. But these extra things added on, which, to be fair to Tony Busby, he didn't mention, there was going to be more coming. This is the more that he had referenced earlier. So, this is the gamble that the Browns made. And at this point, they're in bed with Deshaun Watson as much as Deshaun was in bed with the Houston Texans there. So this is now their problem to deal with. And we'll see how this thing goes as the months go on. But right now, it don't look great.
Yeah, I'm with you. And again, it's important to note, we don't know. Deshaun Watson may have told them this was coming. The Browns and the NFL may very well have known about this. So that's an important distinction to make. We won't know that until the NFL rules on if they're going to suspend them or if there's any punishment.
And then one question that's probably going to need more follow-up than it did at the introductory press conference, which it did get a follow-up question, just didn't get answered by the people on the stage, is what specifically was the legal advice for not talking to Tony Busby and his clients, right, for this whole thing? Because that was something that when they made this trade, Tony had said, hey, there's going to be more to come out. If I were the Cleveland Browns and I hear that kind of threat coming from an active situation, I would want to know. So, I'm not a lawyer by any means, but if I were in the media right now, that's what I would want to know is, hey, what specifically legally prevented you from doing this? What was the council's specific advice? Because right now, it looks like a giant misstep.